We're out on another adventure today. We'll try a little more drone photography and video techniques. We're headed up to a local canyon in northern Utah. I think today we'll do some handheld takeoff and catches. We're about ready to do a drone flight. It's a beautiful mountain area. I'd like to, first of all, check our FAA airspace and make sure we're in a safe zone. We're following the law here. I like to use the Garmin Pilot app. And if we tell it to go to our location, we can see here that we're near this Richmond, Utah area. That's Richmond, Utah in the yellow. This is on this particular map, we can see this blue. I'll drag my little cursor around this blue line. The blue with the dots represents conservation area. In this case, it's a wilderness area. And we happen to be right on the border. There's us right now with the little blue dot. We're right on the border, so just to the south of us is a beautiful wilderness area. And you'll see from the north, we'll see some cows out here and grazing area. The road right in between. You can see that we're not in any, we're actually outside the Class E zone, signified by this Class E airspace, signified by this brown mark. As long as we fly under, that airspace starts at 700 feet above ground level, but by law we need to stay under 400 feet above ground level, so we're not going to have a problem. With regards to conservation areas, we can launch outside of a conservation area, like wilderness area. So if we launch here, we're just barely on the border. And we can launch outside of, we can fly over it all we want, as long as we land back under it. Now we're surrounded by mountains. We need to stay under 400 AGL, but we can tell already that these mountains are above 400 AGL, so as long as we stay above them and under 400 feet above ground level from their peaks, we should be good. So we're going to connect with the Mavic and its remote control using an iPhone 7 today. We'll get this Mavic started up. Oh, and on the Mavic, you can probably see, I'm going to start with an 8ND polarizer filter. This one's made by Mavic Pro right here. You just slip it on the top there. Okay, so we're ready to fly. I'm going to actually do takeoffs today with a handheld takeoff. So this drone, I'm going to grab it right here. I'm going to keep my hand below. Keep my hand below, stretch out far, and let him just take off. Now, one thing I have noticed, sometimes when you take off, for some reason, the Mavic Pro will want to raise another couple meters, and sometimes it doesn't. So make sure when you take off with this technique that there's nothing straight above you. I do notice we've got dragonflies all around. That should be kind of interesting. So here on my controller, I'm going to use the automatic takeoff. I'm going to slide to take off. So in this case, here was what my hand where I took off, and the drone is hovering 1 meter above my hand. I'm going to have the drone look down, the camera look down at me so he can see me. We can see that I'm getting some I'm getting zebra effect. That means I'm overexposed where my clothes are. So I'm going to be able to raise my shutter up here. There we go. We're ready to fly. You could fly up. I noticed for some reason I'm attracting dragonflies. They're all around me. Let's practice a landing first though. Let's bring this drone down. Let's look down at me here. Okay, we'll bring the drone down. Okay, so the drone's watching me now. And here's where I took off from, 1 meter above my hand. Now to land, there's an interesting thing that happens. We've got down sensors on right now on the drone, but it's gonna wanna avoid me. So as I push up, so let me bring it down again. I just get so you can see how that happens. Bring him into the thing. So if I come under it and as I start moving up on it, we can see that collision avoidance. He's going to want to avoid me, and he keeps about a 2/3 of a meter or so, a couple of feet. So if I want to land, and I want to land without it fighting me, it will fight me. If I reach up and grab it, it'll fight and try to pull away. So instead, we'll just tell it that we want to land, and as we do so, I'll lower my hand just slowly, and that'll give us a nice soft landing. Make sure you stay away from the blades, the propellers. They're like flying butter knives, and they do hurt when you get hit by them. And I'm going to carefully grab my hand around the center area of the fuselage of the drone. So let's try that. I'm going to hold down and tell it to go ahead and land. I'm going to hold my stick all the way down. It's going to come down, and I'm going to lower softly, just a little bit, and then it doesn't fight me at all. So the key was, we hold the joystick all the way down. That means you're telling it to land. It's going to, when it knows it's going to land, it's not going to try to do collision avoidance. And then we move our hand slowly down, and it won't fight us at all. I'm going to do a catch again because the ground's dirty. We've got a lot of grass. I'm going to try to keep my lens clean. I am going to point my lens up. So we can watch here. Again, I put my hand out, it's going to stop. Bring it down again. Slowly descend my hand. Then it won't fight back, just like that.